Hello everyone, this is Susie Q, Susie Q's Bunting Babes, and welcome to my nursery room window. Today I have Mikey with me, and we are going to be doing a very late theme Thursday. I missed last week's Thursday, theme Thursday, and so I thought I would do it today. And I want to apologize to Yvonne for doing such a late one. So I'm just trying to catch up. But anyway, theme Thursday for last week was there was a couple of things. The first one was camping we will go, and then the alternate theme was scratching mitts. And so I thought, because I grew up going camping, and I've always enjoyed camping, I thought that I would do the camping theme, and I wanted to bring Mikey on because he has this great big smile, and I have an outfit that I think will work with him perfectly. So I'm going to put him back on this little pillow and show you the outfit that we're going to be putting on him today. And what it is this one. I'm one happy little camper, and it looks like a camping outfit to me. It's little, suspenders with little denim shorts. It's really cute. It's kind of twisted up right now, but we'll be fixing that. And then along with this outfit, he's going to be wearing these little camping boots, and with these brown socks. And then we're going to finish it off with this Winnie the Pooh hat for his little camping hat. So let's go ahead and get started. Like I said, I grew up camping with my family. There was 4 kids in our family. I have an older sister, and then I have 2 younger brothers. And we used to go camping. We would actually go tent camping, like wilderness tent camping, and that was before the days there was no like outhouse facilities, or there was no campground, so to speak, where you had hookups or modern things like that. The way that we went camping was we would go to one of the places we would go is called Bishop Creek. That's in California. I was born and raised and grew up in California. But anyway, so we would when we got to the mountains, we would drive around and choose a tree that we would put our tent under. And we had an old green canvas. It was, let's see, Coleman was the name of the company that sold those kind of tents. Really old tent. And somehow all 4 of us, actually it was 6 of us all together, all 6 of us fit in to that tiny little tent. And I knew that it was a tiny little tent because when I grew up, I saw the size of it, and when I was little, it seemed like it was really huge. But then, actually, I do remember that the only thing that fit in there was 6 sleeping bags. So, but anyways, I have some really fun memories of camping. I was a happy little camper back in my day. Let's see, one of the things that I remember, it's a funny story, and I think some of my Dolly friends might have heard this story before. But it's just one that's always stayed in my memory, and it's just hilarious. Now, because my mom always tried to prepare us for everything, there was 4 of us kids, and so she had to try to keep us all under her wing when we went places. And she always tried to prepare us, for what was coming up. And so we were going to all go on a hike one day, because my dad was, he loved to fish, and so we were going to go hike to this lake. And So my mom prepared us. She told us everything that we were to do and not to do, and so we started out on the hike, and we ended up we were going to need to cross this rushing creek. Well, the creek had stones in it, of course, and so she said she picked out an area of the creek that had stones that we could walk across. The creek wasn't very high. It was only probably ankle deep, maybe a tiny bit more, not much. So she told us all, you know, she stopped us all at the edge of the creek, and she gave us explicit instructions about, okay, we're going to cross on the rocks, and don't slip, you know, no one is to slip into the creek because you'll get your shoes wet, and then, you know, it'll be hard for you to walk in your shoes for the rest of the hike, and on about this big, it was just this big ordeal about crossing the creek. And the creek wasn't even that wide, but the main thing was is she did not want us to get our shoes wet. So anyway, and then she told us that the first one who fell in the creek, who fell in the creek was going to get a spanking. That was back in the days of spankings, and so none of us wanted to get a spanking, and we just kind of we were going to wait for her to show us the way to cross the creek. She was going to cross the creek first, and then she was going to show us which stones to walk on. So anyway, so she started out, she walked on the first stone, that was fine. And then the second stone that she went to step on was, I think what the problem was, it had moss on it, and so it was slippery. And she didn't realize it, and she fell in the creek. She got her shoes wet, she just slipped and fell in the creek. She didn't fall all the way down, as I recall, but she totally got her shoes soaked, just soaked. And so, of course, we all started laughing because, you know, she made this big speech about, you know, don't, you know, the one who gets who gets their shoes wet, you know, is going to get a spanking. So anyway, needless to say, she did not get a spanking, but and we started laughing, but then when we saw how mad she was and stuff, we just kind of stopped laughing. And but I just remember that that one thing that my mom did, and it was just hilarious to me and all of us kids. But anyway, we ended up crossing the creek. None of us fell in, except for my mom. So that was just funny. My mom was always full of these little trip. She would, I'm trying to say, whenever we went on a trip, she would, you know, teach us what we were supposed to do beforehand. So that was just funny. And then I do remember also on a camping trip, it might have even been that same one, I don't know. So it started raining, and we were all stuck in the tent. Couldn't get out of the tent because of the rain. And my mom had to make dinner. And so she had the camping stove all set up, and so she had, what she decided to do for a really easy meal was to make some stew. And it was just canned stew, you know. So she put a couple of cans of stew in there, and she went back in the tent. She'd come out of the tent once in a while to stir the stew and, you know, make sure it wouldn't burn. Well, anyway, something happened and she forgot to stir the stew. And anyways, it ended up tasting like burnt stew. And back in the day, my dad used to smoke cigarettes. Later he quit, but he used to smoke a brand. It was called Viceroys. And so all of us kids felt like that the stew tasted like the smell of his cigarettes. So we from that point on, we called that stew Viceroy stew. And so that was just really funny too. But I have a lot of fun memories of camping. And so Yvonne, I'm really happy that you chose this theme for today. I've seen some other really, really nice videos very creative videos of a camping we will go. But this is all I could come up with today, but I did want to tell a couple of my stories. Anyway, everyone, thank you so much for stopping by. This is little Mikey in his camping outfit. I hope you like it. And anyway, hope to see you all soon. And until we meet again, bye-bye.